Crypto.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
All right, hello everybody. Yeah, let's see the camera. There we go. Got the camera today. As you can see, it's light out. It's 1:43 p.m. here. Last night, a bit too tired. I thought I can do a much better show if I've got some energy. However, my condo decided to do fire alarm tests since like 9 a.m. this morning, on and off every hour. So I wasn't able to do it until now, where they confirmed that just 10 minutes ago was the last alarm. So here we are. I'm going to make this a short one. I value your time. I value my time. I think we can get through a lot in just like 30 minutes. So I guess we'll just get right to it. Hopefully you guys liked my report, by the way, for TRI members only, but I created a report that is in the Julian Trades room on kind of where I think things are going on a higher time frame basis. Today I'm going to provide a little bit of an alternative view where if that doesn't happen, what is the potential bearish scenario? But we're mostly going to just look at the next week and what could potentially happen the next week in this daily brief. And that's what normally I do, since we do it every single week. And I kind of just give my prediction for the next 5-6 days and why I think those things will happen from a technical perspective. I don't expect anyone to be live on the stream. Oh, we have 7 people. Wow, you guys are awake. I didn't think anyone was going to be awake and I would just do this. But if anyone's here, you can ask questions. I saw some questions asked in the Discord here. So I did get some questions here. So Karim asked a pretty big question. Karim, I'm going to go into this maybe in my next baby powder report that I publish. A lot of this is way too deep for a daily brief. I appreciate the question, but I think I'll maybe make like a teachings section of the baby powder reports, and you could see that in there every time I publish it. But we didn't really have any. I was surprised you guys didn't ask any other questions. So without further ado, I'll just go through my normal spiel. Normally we start with the S&P, so we'll do that. S&P, all right, as you can see, it's trying to break out to new highs. Everyone was super bearish, actually, thinking that we were going to drop and go lower. Even me, I thought we could at least go to the 200-day moving average with all the tariff talks, but nothing was happening. Nothing. There's no drop at all, which is semi-shocking. Oh, well, good to see you, Cotter, and sorry to hear you're sick. But good to see you. At least I know I'm not completely alone here. But as you can see, until RSI breaks above this kind of downtrend, I'm not crazy bullish here. Even though in my baby powder report I did point to that we could go higher. There's potential for us to go about, I don't want to fully give it away since this is free, but we'll say like 6 to 8% higher if we break out. That's kind of where I expect us to top out in that area. Maybe 9 or 10% at most. It's kind of a range, and you just want to unload in that range. If we go to like a weekly, you can even see on a weekly chart how we've had this divergence just like building and building and building. Ideally, I would want to see something like this where we get a big spike, take out those shorts, and we're not there for long, and we just die after that. You see something like that to just massively take out the shorts and then head lower is what I would like to see. We did complete. I've shown this before. It is worth reminding everyone that we completed this major ABCD move from the COVID lows. Like we literally topped right here. That's why we've been. This is the longest we've actually sat anywhere. I mean, we've been here since basically the end of November, doing nothing for 3 months, and that's because we completed this ABCD pattern. So I think a lot of people have unloaded here, and a lot of people have probably gone short. So what the market needs to do now in this topping process that I believe is happening is they need to have that one last move, get people so bullish that everyone's long, and then they can dump it. But right now they can't dump it because look at this. So even though there was record buying apparently when the market pulled back, we have, if you look at the investor sentiment survey, 47% are bearish. Market's not going to go down if 47% of the investors are bearish. Now, I don't think this report is like end all be all. I think that, it's just another tool in our tool belt and something you can use to create a holistic analysis on the general market. But this is a 1-year bear high. Why would the market break down when 47% of investors are bearish? It's the highest in a year. It's just not going to happen. So that's another reason why I think we can get this deviation, where I think this will almost be like a manipulative move to get the market to take out all the shorts and get everyone to be bullish again, and then we'll get our dump. That's what I'm looking at, and this is going to be a long process. It's not going to happen quickly. So don't think this is like 1 week and then done. It's probably going to go on for a couple months. That's what I see. I'm not watching Beast games. I don't know why. Mr. Beast, I've tried to watch him. He's weird. There's something weird about that guy. I think I saw on Twitter somebody posted where his eyes don't smile when he smiles. There's just something odd about him. But brilliant marketer. I will give him credit for that. I wish I was that good at marketing or making YouTube videos for that matter. So that's kind of my viewpoint in the S&P. I would be bullish up until 65, 6600 area, and then I would cut it quick. I would take profits very quickly. And it looks like, at least on the 4 hour, it does look like we've broken out higher, and we're going to target up here, this area. So 6500 BFRN, somewhere around there. I wanted to touch base on Tesla. We're going to talk about mostly crypto today, but I've been talking about Tesla for a while, and I mentioned how I thought Tesla would have a pullback, and it has had that pullback. I actually did very well with my shorts using this one, Tesla Q. But you can see how on these ETFs, these like 2x ETFs, how fast they pull back. They go down a lot faster than they go up. This is a trick that market makers, I don't actually know who is benefiting from this. I'm guessing whoever made the ETF. But oftentimes you will see it rise and then roll over a lot faster than it goes up. And you can see over time how this thing's just gotten destroyed. And it was, like $200 just back in August. So it's oftentimes better to just short these if you can than to buy them. But I did buy it, and believe it or not, I got filled right here at 38. 38 was my earliest fill, and I got filled there in pre-market hours, and I exited a quarter of my position, and then I exited another quarter here with a market order because I didn't like how things were looking, and now it's rolled over. But I'm still 50% in this, and the question is why? Well, Tesla has not rolled over completely. We're still in this downtrend. I want to see some kind of W down here. I would like to see a flush all the way down to like 280, 200-day moving average, or at least even the 50%, 315. But I think a lot of people did front run this. See how we just barely took out these lows over here? A lot of people front ran this, and now we've had our short squeeze. But there is potential for us to still roll over and head a little bit lower. I was looking for a TD7, TD8. I got nothing on these lower time frames. Actually, I don't want to use that one. I want to use this one. I just realized we're looking at the wrong chart. Yeah. So on a 4 hour, you can see you got an 8 and a 9, but on a daily chart, we only just barely got a 7. The 7 came in after the bounce. Normally you would get it before the bounce. It came in after. So it's in a bottoming process, potentially breaking out. This could be considered your divergence, right? So I'm going to see how this develops, and like if we could even adjust this, right? And this is our 4 hour, and you can see how it's still below there on a 4 hour chart. I want to see how this breaks down, but I would love to see a pullback at this point. And as soon as I start seeing that pullback, I'm going to unload the rest of my shorts, and I'm going to start getting long. I want to be long Tesla. I think, the humanoid robot thing is huge. And actually, I'm looking, if anybody knows any publicly traded companies that are producing or developing humanoid robots, please send those companies to me. I've got about 10 or 12. I'm working on a list to figure out which ones might be the best ones to buy in the event of a pullback or a market crash. Which ones? Because I think that's the next big thing. I really think humanoid robots are going to be absolutely huge. So I've got about 12 right now. All of them, it looks like they could reach 100 to 300% return. And I'm going to include that in my next little baby powder report I'm going to put out. So if anyone has any other ones, just send it to me, or just post it in the chat or something. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking on Tesla. I would like to see another pullback. I don't think it's going to go straight up. I would be shocked if that happens. But you can see how we filled this baby gap here. But I was looking for this gap down in this area, 260, 270. But I do think that's a bit aggressive. And maybe the most I can hope for is something, something down here like 315. Just take out these lows barely. That kind of thing. But maybe this is it. Maybe they don't even let you get back in. Maybe the demand is too strong. I saw tons of people having a lot of demand for Tesla on Twitter and stuff like that. But I wanna see how this plays out. So I would just hold off if you want to get long on Tesla. Wait for that W to kind of come in. You could even get long at like 330 now if you draw fibs off the highs. So the low here, your long is probably going to be around 340 to 330 area. That's where you could start looking to add longs. And you just dollar cost average in, right? If it goes lower, just buy more. And I'm talking spot, not 3x ETF or options or anything crazy like that. I might sell some puts, like protected. What is it called? I forget what it's called. It's like covered puts or something. And make money if they're never, because the volatility on Tesla is quite high. So you can get a lot of premium from those puts, and then I can make money from those puts. And if it goes down to my price that I sell them at, then I'm happy that I got filled there. So that's something else I'm going to start doing more of, is selling puts to get filled on positions. And then I either get filled or I don't get filled, but I at least get paid the premium. Okay, that's Cotter is always making money in interesting ways for anyone looking in the chat. Very interesting ways of making money. Okay, so that's Tesla. My robot companies I'll talk about in another one. I've talked about a bunch of Bitcoin mining companies. Some of them have done really well. I'm keeping an eye on a few. Iron, went down to like 950. That was a great buy point, and you can see how it's hitting a 9 now, but it's performing really well in comparison to Bitcoin. And I'm looking for this to kind of break out and move higher. So Iron is a big one. Mara is one. Mara's not doing as well. I'm not really liking how it's performing, but if Bitcoin can head higher, you can see back in 2021 it went up to $82, and even this year the highest was 30. So you could even easily get a double from here. Riot, Riot's been basically consolidating in this area for quite some time, and if it can take off and just go back to these 2021 highs, I mean, if we just look at the fibs, right? Just 61.8 is $50. Just the 38.2 is $32. I mean, that's pretty crazy. So that's a way I'm playing Bitcoin from, like, even just 38.2 is 170%. So I'm long all of these: Mara, Iron, Riot. I'm using them as essentially Bitcoin affiliate plays. Oh yeah, last one before we jump into crypto is silver and gold. Let me do that. So I have a long working on silver because I think it is going to return a lot more than gold. Gold's kind of already taken off, right? So gold is in this major uptrend. I think everyone knows this. The buy for gold was down here basically, and we're about to hit my 3,000 level. That's my 4.669 level, my conservative one. But that lines up with all of our fibs. So you can see how 1.618 was tagged here, 2.618 was tagged here, and 4.669 is right there. And honestly, you could even bring this down and you could say that's your level, and we already went beyond that, but I kind of prefer this one where 3,000 is the zone. Now, if you expand this and you say, okay, well, I'm super bullish on gold, and I want to say, I think that 1.618 tag was here. This is by the way the most you can expand it. Then you would say the 1.618 tag was here, 2.618 was here, and then actually our 4.69 is up here at 3,700. So that's the like turbo bullish case, if you will, around 3,700. So either 3,000 to 3,700, regardless, this area is where you want to be selling. You don't want to be going super long up here. Like, I know everyone's talking about it, everyone's excited, but you want to be selling up here. This is where you want to take profit, wait for things to consolidate, and then you see if you're going to enter another long. I'm not saying it can't go higher. It can eventually, but this is areas where it could potentially reverse. You want to take profits, and then you can get into another long trade. Silver, I think, looks a bit better. Yeah, so here's silver, and you can see I've drawn my fib levels. And silver, I am long a good amount of silver, just in spot. I bought XAG/USD in my IBKR account. And I just want to target this 4.669 at $45 up here. That's a 36% return. I would be very happy with that return personally. It's nothing compared to the stocks, so I'm not in an insane amount, but I like holding it because I think it has a good potential. It's very good potential. It could top out at 39. It has an ABCD from there, but 45 is where your 4.669 is. So I'll probably, if we tag 39, I'll probably start unloading, and I'll just slowly, exit the position up here. I don't see it going to like $300, like people are saying. Yeah, wishful thinking. There's all these gold bugs and silver bugs that have been talking about for years upon years about this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, and I don't know. I kind of got tired of listening to those guys because they're all usually selling something, either a book or some. By the way, you can see like how 1.618 lines up here, 2.618 lines up here, and 4.669 is right up here at 48. So that $30 to $40 area is definitely that's prime selling zone where I would want to take profits. And we could eventually head higher, but that's where you want to start at least taking profits. And again, this I will use my baby powder reports, my written reports for longer time frame views. These are for like shorter time frame views, okay, over the next few weeks rather than over the next few months. Yeah, so like I said, Qatar, I agree. It could consolidate and then head higher. But if you're trading and it's not really investing, then I think it's prudent to take profits at these points and then you buy back. I've done very well taking like 20%, 30%, 15% of a position at certain places and then buying back lower. Even if it's just 5 to 10% lower, if I can catch that 5 to 10%, that helps me to compound on my position. And I don't see the point of trading and looking at all these charts and spending all this time if you don't take advantage of that. I think if you're just trading spot, it's kind of, at least for me personally, trading spot is pretty easy. You just go in and out of a position, and as long as you're in something that is not going to go, it's not like a company that's going to go bankrupt or some fucking stupid shitcoin, then you're fine, and you're never really going to lose the money. You have unlimited time. The only time you don't have unlimited time and you can be screwed is when you do options or you do some kind of leverage trading. That's the only time. But if you're just doing spot trading, there's no reason why you can't do this and add to your position and buy and sell a little bit and then just hold if it goes lower than you expect, and you can just dollar cost average more. So yeah, okay. So that's gold and silver and what I'm thinking. Very simple analysis. I don't think it needs to be complicated or need or have a lot of lines drawn. I think it's pretty cut and dry. That's your target. Use your setups to enter the position. Eventually it should hit this area. Okay, I think that's it, and we can just jump into Bitcoin. So you see, do these charts kind of all look similar? Like, look at how it just consolidates, pull back, moves higher quickly, consolidates. Same with Bitcoin, moves up, consolidates, moves up, consolidates. So we're just doing, it's all kind of the same. So consolidating here. Right now it still looks bullish. I don't like how you do have a potential divergence on the weekly chart. I mean, if we go to a 2-week, right? You also have potential divergence on MACD and RSI and MACD, and then you have a 9 on the 2-week chart. So that is the bearish concern for Bitcoin. The bullish case is that RSI is still positive on the weekly, 2-week, monthly chart. It's looking good, right? This is still a bullish scenario. However, and MACD made like an equal high, while last time you can see how it made quite a bit of a lower high. But I don't like seeing this. So just keep in mind. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Cutter. Just keep in mind that there is potential for some kind of topping pattern here, or pullback or reset scenario. People have talked a lot about like the 80 to 85K area, even some people down to like 70K area. Keep in mind that could happen. Like, I mean, there's potential for that. So you just do a quick, dump, and then you move up, something like that. It could happen in 1 or 2 days. And right now, price action suggests that one of two things are happening. We're either distributing or we're accumulating before the next move higher. You can see we did the same thing here for literally 8 months. So, and then you had how many days of up? You basically had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Most of the move was done in 10 days. And that's kind of what happens now, especially with institutional involvement. You had the 40% move in about 10 days. And then after that, how much more did we move up? You had another 20% over a month. But most of the move you can see was here over just 10 days. And that's what happens. And markets do that on purpose. People get bored. People don't pay attention. And the only way you can actually profit from this is if you're checking all the time, set alerts, or you're just buying and holding spot. That's the only way. And markets do this on purpose to get you to exit, not pay attention, not buy more, that kind of thing. So on the daily chart, we're still kind of in an uptrend. MACD doesn't look great. You need this to reverse. Until this reverses, you're not going to head higher. But it does look like there's potentially a W forming on MACD. RSI I don't like. But on these lower time frames, we're basically just in stasis. Nothing's happening. You can't even use momentum indicators when the market flatlines like this. And they do it on purpose. I mean, we've basically done nothing since mid-November. So November, January, February, December, January, February, 3 months of basically nothing again. And that's what I guess Bitcoin's become, is many, many months of nothing. And then you get 10 days of up. So that's probably what's going to happen at some point. And when we move up, it's going to be an explosive move. The real question is, do we move to 70K before that happens? It's really hard to say. What I would do for now is I would just trade the range. And I've showed this countless times on how to trade a range. So for example, from here to here, you could have taken a short up here and then set your take profit and next buy down here, 78.6, 88.6. You can see how you would have been filled on that 78.6, 88.6, and then you would have done the same and reversed. And you would have sold here, but you never got filled, right? Until it went up here. So it doesn't always work. Sometimes you want to say or sell at 61.8 because sometimes it only goes to that 61.8. And then when that happened, you would have wanted to look at the low here and the high here. And you can see how they ran the stops. You would have been stopped out here. The only way to have not been stopped out is to have set your stop against the low here and set your buys 88.6, 78.6 here, right here, 88.6, 70. You would have been filled perfectly, and then your stop is the low here. And then you would have, let's say you did get filled, you would have done the same here, and you would have went to the highs up here, and you would have sold on the way up. You could have sold 61.8, 78.6, 88.6, and then started shorting. You would have been stopped out up here if you set your stop at the highs, which is why they did that. But if you did eventually get into a short position, you would again go over here and there, and you would look to get filled 78.6, 88.6. And you can see how that just keeps happening, repeating. It's kind of boring. And the range gets smaller and smaller over time. So now you're down here. Let's assume you're long and look at basically this. That's kind of your range and where you'll want to exit if we move higher. And you just play it like a range until it's not ranging anymore. It's kind of all you can do. I don't really have or hold spot and be ready to buy more lower. Not really a great scenario for this besides that. That's it. And I would use this level, but you could also even go up to here, right there. and then your sells are here, right there, like that. Can't say much more than that because momentum is flatlined. So on a 12-hour, you could lean bullish, right? There's your downtrend. There's your breakout higher. Here's your W coming in. So you could lean bullish here, and there's that potential. But just keep in mind that we do have right here, if we go to liquidation heat map and we look at the Bitcoin symbol, we go to 1 week. We've got a bunch of levels down here all the way down to 90. And then we've got also 99 all the way up to actually 101 here. If we go out even further, say like 3 months. You can see how we have all this down here at 70K. Right there. So much, 88 to 70K. Huge amount of liquidity. They could take it out before they move higher. We also have a bunch here at 120, all the way up to about 130. So you've got liquidity and that you can take out on both sides. I do think you have a lot more on the downside than the upside. Not everywhere, but in a lot of areas, 56, 60 million. And there's quite a lot down there. So I'd like to see that quick down move, but it's going to happen when nobody expects it, as usual, which is of course annoying, slightly annoying. For now, I'm thinking we're gonna move higher, and the first stop's gonna be like this 102 area. I mean, we can even look at the last 48 hours. Actually, I think it's not gonna show anything. Yeah, we do have a nice short liquidations up here at 98, 99,000. Let's look a little bit more here. Yeah, all the way up to about 101, 102. And that aligns with our 61.8, 102 area. That's what I'm leaning towards for now. Everyone asks about Ethereum. Everybody thinks Ethereum's dead. All Ethereum's doing is ranging. It's still in a downtrend for now, but you do have that TD9 that came in. And a weekly chart, you also have a 9. So, and you've got divergence coming in on RSI and MACD. So I'm honestly more bullish on altcoins than I am on Bitcoin here. If we look at BTCD, and I've talked about and shown this before, we tagged this top of the line area. We've put in divergence in RSI on a weekly chart, and it looks like we're getting ready to reverse to the downside. If we go to a daily, see what the daily looks like. If it loads. Yeah, okay. So daily had a 9 that came in. And there's no breakdown yet, but it's coming. It's very close. So I'm looking for that breakdown to trigger the altcoin rally. I've spoken to a lot of people who hold altcoins, and a lot of them have given up. They've either quit crypto or they've switched to only Bitcoin. But yeah, I think you're gonna see a massive dump in BTCD. And what might actually happen is, rather than alts rallying, if Bitcoin dumps, so maybe Bitcoin dumps to like this 70K area, which is your 365-day VWAP. Maybe alts don't dump that much. Like Ethereum, that's BTCD. Hold on. So maybe BTCD dumps like I'm talking about. However, Ethereum never goes below the recent lows. Like maybe it just heads to here, 2,300 or something. That's all you get. Everyone's got buys down here, 2,000 and lower. Maybe they're thinking, oh, I'll get an entry at like 2,000 or 1,900 this area, but they never get it because BTCD drops so much. I'm thinking that that's a significant scenario. So just keep in mind, even if Bitcoin drops really hard, doesn't mean all the alts are going to go 90% lower. I think we already experienced most of the altcoin decline. I mean, Ethereum's down almost 50%. Solana also dropped majorly and looks like it's putting in quite the bottoming pattern here. That's what I see. And you can see how I would like to see some fills for Solana, 185, 181 area, but we might not get it. And all we get is eventually a breakout where we head up to 273. Actually, if we retrace the range from this low, target would be up here, 270, 280 area. It looks like it's putting in a nice bottoming pattern on a daily chart. This looks decent. See, pretty ugly lines. I mean, I don't know why they're so ugly, but you can see an obvious W forming on RSI and bottoming pattern. It's almost too obvious. And at some point we'll probably do this and then head up. It just has to do that. It always does that. I mean, look at here, right? You consolidated, boom, and then up. Same over here. It did this so many times. Consolidate, up, and once it goes up very fast. So liquidation, straight up. Okay, liquidation, straight up. Same here, straight down, liquidation, up. Rolled over, okay, liquidation, up. And even here, just small ones, okay. Consolidation, okay, liquidation, up. Same here, okay, let's roll over for a couple days, liquidate as far down as we can, and then go straight up. And that's what always happens. It's just what they don't want people to be long. Don't kid yourself and think that it's going to be easy, or there's even a chance that if something's moving up significantly, you're gonna be in a long and a leverage position. Probably just get long spot. Leverage, it's gonna be very difficult. For Solana, honestly, if I was trying to get long, I would probably go all the way back here to these lows. And you can see how 61.8 is tagging most of the time. I would honestly look to buy lower in the 78.6 area right down here. I would look for a wick right down there and then something like that, which would coincide probably with Bitcoin going down to like 75K if that happens. Okay. I was going to look at Rune really quick. Rune obviously massively crashed, but it's looking a little bit better now. We're at 150. So I'm liking this again. It's crossed over on the daily. This is quite a bullish looking chart now. I really like it. So I have a small Rune position. And TRI, of course, is still holding its Rune position, which, lost a lot of value. I talked about Rune being a fail when it broke down from this uptrend up here at $5. So not really surprised when it had this pullback. We have a 9 on the weekly that's come in. This is major support. We basically went all the way to the lows from 2023. I like the reversal I'm seeing. There's no reason why we couldn't. It could still do this, right? Go down below $1 and then take off, which could happen again in that 75K Bitcoin area. But for now, it looks like it's broken out, and it's semi bullish. So thought I'd touch base on that. Okay, XRP and TIA. Okay, let's do XRP quickly. Yeah, I have a lot of charts on XRP. So XRP with a log scale, looking at $11 actually. I'm gonna get rid of some of this stuff. $11, and then using chaos levels, 4.4 in the short term, but eventually $10. That's using a log scale. If we don't use a log scale, let me see, get rid of this, and we just do this. Yeah, if we don't use a log scale, we target about $4, $4.40. That's all. So near term target I would say 380 to 440. And again, you can get that liquidation. Keep in mind that that could happen down to 210 or so. Quick liquidation, and then you head up to this area. And then this is where we'll see consolidation, maybe a pullback. And then that's where you reevaluate, and we've got to decide, or is that the last high, or are we going higher to 8.77 and 16.88 up here? these two areas. It's really it on XRP. I mean, it's not too complicated. Doesn't look great on a daily yet. No breakout, right? This is your right there. I want to see it on the other side of this downtrend line. Weekly is still in a bull trend, so I don't think the bull trend's over. I am still leaning on the bullish side. It's just kind of where do you want to get long on these lower time frames, right? Okay, Dan asked about TIA. This is the last one. I'm going to talk about TIA, and then I got to go. Oh, wow, this one got wrecked, huh? It's almost like a rune. So another one with a 9 on the weekly chart. I actually like this. What does TIA do, Dan? Curious what TIA does. I think somebody mentioned it before. You also have an 8 on the 3-day and a divergence on MACD, right? Nice to see. Dan, what does TIA do? Tell me. Still in a downtrend, technically, with RSI. But it does look like, obviously, it's consolidating, trying to put in that W. Nothing on the other side. Modular blockchain for the availability. I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm just not that smart, but I don't know what that means. Yeah, Ucha, so I will commit to trying to do both. We'll see how it goes. I prefer the written reports because I can spend 3 to 4 hours really constructing my thoughts and giving you guys a higher time frame view and focusing on specific areas that I think are beneficial to everyone, and also try to target ways to go more viral because we want to grow TRI, and right now we're not growing that much on YouTube, so I want to focus more on the written side. But I understand that people really like the daily briefs, so more people voted for the daily briefs than the written reports. Maybe that'll change in a month from now as they see more written reports. But yeah, I'm gonna be prioritizing my sleep more than doing shows at like midnight. And I'll just do them kind of when I feel like it. And if you guys can tune in, okay, great. If not, then you can watch it back later, and you can always post questions in the lounge and stuff like that. Good to see you. I will try to do them still close to the market hours and daytime in the US. It's just last night I was very tired, so not a good idea to do the sauna before the daily brief. I got to remind myself, don't go in the sauna because you will be tired. Today I've had 2 coffees, so I feel great. Data availability sampling, Celestia, verified data. Nodes can check if data is available by sampling small rather than downloading everything. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. All right. Well, this chart looks good. I mean, it looks like Rune a bit. So the high was at $9, and you've got a potential 3x from here. On a weekly chart, we're basically at the lows from 2023. There must have been something seriously wrong that happened that caused it to head so much lower, but I do like what I'm seeing. So maybe I'll pick up some of this. It's not a bull yet, though. It's not yet. There is potential again to get that liquidation wick. Head down here to like 240, 250 or something, and then we head up. I wanna see that liquidation wick happen. The question is, when will it happen? We could consolidate in this range for a while. We could still do this, and then this, and like that, and then eventually that. Something like that. I would expect to happen. So my recommendation before I sign off is feel free to buy some of these altcoins to load up in the event of a breakout, which looks like it's near, and a lot of these look like they're bottoming. So feel free to buy, but staking inflation. Okay. Well, so again, this is where I need to look into this and to see when are people going to stop selling. But it does look like it's bottoming. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. My point is, consider buying some of these alts that are in good locations. However, keep some cash and set some alerts in case Bitcoin dumps hard like I'm showing here. Like if you get a Bitcoin dump and it goes below 88K, consider buying some of these alts that are going to drop another 30-40%, and even buy some Bitcoin. Keep some cash for that potential scenario, but understand that that may not happen. Maybe we just move up. So, those are your, I hate to say it, but these are kind of your two scenarios. You just go up, or you get the liquidation and then you head up. So just keep that in mind. Keep some cash on hand. Set alerts. Maybe even put like limit orders. If you're buying spot, it's fine. Just put some limit orders. Maybe like an 85K, 80K, 78K, 72K, something like that, to buy and to get some fills, because it's going to happen quick. Whether it happens or not, I'm not sure, but if it happens, it's going to be very, very, very fast, and you're going to have probably minutes to buy it. All right. I have to go. I've got to do deadlifts in about 10 minutes. So, if I do it at this time again, it's going to be way earlier, where it's like 8 or 9 p.m. for you guys in the US, rather than like 2 or 1 a.m. And the only reason it was late today is because they were doing fire alarm tests in my building from 9 this morning until almost 1 p.m. And that's why I had to do it quite a bit later. Okay. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the Discord. And if not, I will see you here around the same time next week, within a 24-hour window. All right. Bye, everybody.